Hi everyone, my name is Piotr, and in this video I want to explain you what is the recursive function in JavaScript. So basically a recursive function is a function that will repeat itself from within the function as long as it doesn't meet our conditions that we defined inside of it, or as long as we set it to stop. It is a good way to run some computations inside a function or to loop through a uh, nested objects and then get the keys and of the values of it. You can see sometimes on the website when you go to some categories or to some products that above or under the navigation on the page you can see some sort of breadcrumbs which will say it on which category you are currently or which page. So let's just head on to the VS Code and I will explain you a bit more on this. So as you can see, I just wrote here a function that will take an parameter. And so the point is to write some business logic or some code to change the parameter, or if you want, if we don't. And then we want to run the function again inside of it with the new parameter or the same parameter with some other additions or in a different way, right? Here you can see the function that takes a parameter, and then we are looping, we are checking if the parameter is bigger than 0. We can also write some logic here to change the parameter or make some API calls or whatever. In this example, I just output the number of the parameter, and we are running the function again with the parameter -1. So if we will run this function with the number of 3, we'll basically run it as long as the parameter is bigger than 0, right? So in this example, I was distracting the 1 from the parameter, and what we will get is that let's just run this function, and excuse me, I forgot to comment this out. Little mistake. All right, let's just save it again and then run node app.js. So as you can see, we are outputting the numbers 3, 2, and 1 because the function will run itself as long as the number is bigger than 0. This is a really basic example of how we can implement this. Another example is I wrote here a function that will sum the digits of the parameter that we are passing inside of it, and we are checking if the number is equal to 0. If it is, then stop running the function and return the 0. Otherwise, we are returning the remainder of the parameter by number of 10 plus the result of our function where we are passing a new parameter, which is basically the number divided by 10 to math.floor, which in this case 235, it will give us 23, and then again, as you can see, I just wrote here how it works. So the first output will be number 5, then we are adding it to the number of 2, and then we get, or basically we're adding to the number of 3, say this like this, and then we are adding 2 to that. So let's just run this function and let's see what we will get. All right, let's clean it up. Node.js. So we get the 10 because 2 plus 3 plus 5 is 10. right? Pretty basic. And the last example that I want to show you is I wrote here an object with the nested object and some properties, some random numbers, and just dummy data, right? And below that object, I just wrote a function that takes a parameter, which will be an object, and then takes some options, which we are destructuring here. The first option is the get key from object value, which is as a default defined to false, and the second one, which is our separator, and as a default is it a dot. We also specified our result array, which is an empty array, and inside this function I wrote a function that gets the keys from our object, from this object, and it will loop through that object, right? And it will check if the breadcrumbs are passed to the parameters. If it is, then it will make a string from our breadcrumbs as a parameter. It will add the separator, which I defined here, and also our key. If we don't have the breadcrumbs, if we don't pass it, we just take the key. And here we are checking if the type of an object at the index of the key is equal to an object. So if this property isn't an object, then this will not execute. But in this point, at this line, so our population is basically an inner object of our object, this one. And so we are checking if we pass it the option get key from an object values, which will also output from each object then that is type of an object and holds another values, it will output it as a string. You will see that in the moment in the console. And we are pushing the result of our breadcrumbs to our array, and then we are running the function again with the object and the index of the key and our breadcrumbs, which we are specified here. And so it will run as long as we don't have any other objects of inner objects inside of our object, which is this one, right? So let's just run this console log and let's see what we get. Let's just clean this out. Type node-app.js. And so as you can see, we are getting our breadcrumbs, which just basically outputs the keys from our object, as long as we don't have other objects, as long as the less value or the most inner value isn't an object. So this is the good way to route the recursive function, to use it into your code or your project or whatever that you are working at. So I hope this was useful. If you have any questions or if you want to hear it more, then just write it in the comment section, and yeah, just see you next time. Bye.